So good morning to everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this class, we are going to discuss about the discovery of proton. In previous class, we have already discussed about the discovery of electron. So how the discovery of proton happens? In the year 1886, Goldstein performed an experiment called anode ray experiment. When in the year 1886, he conducted one experiment he named as an anode ray experiment. This experiment is similar to the J.J. Thomson cathode ray experiment. If you want to watch that video, I will mention in the I button. You can click and you can directly watch that video. So, what that experiment means that he took one glass tube and he placed two electrode one and two, and he connected with a source of high voltage, and he observed that the rays or whatever the particles present in the tube, that whatever the particles or gas, he filled a gas with low pressure, and the particles started to move from way to way, from cathode to anode. The particles are started to move from way to way, from cathode to anode. He observed in which J.J. Thomson experiment, he observed that the rays are moving from the cathode to the anode, and he made some holes to the electrode, and he coated with a fluorescent. And he observed some light absorbed on the fluorescent screen, which is coated with a zinc sulfate fluorescent screen. And while during the conducting in by Goldstein, he observed that some unusual things, like J.J. Thomson told that the particles are moving from way to way, from cathode to anode, and he named as a cathode ray experiment. And during the conducting experiment by Goldstein, he observed that the some particles in this tube are started to moving from way to way, from anode to the cathode. Some particles are moving from the way to way, from from anode to the cathode. And he made some holes in this electrode, and he also coated with a fluorescent screen like zinc sulfate, and he observed some light. Some observed light, and he concluded that the some in the during the experiment, some particles are also moving from way to way, from anode to the cathode, and he named these particles as anode ray. He named as a anode ray because the particles are moving from way to way, from positive to the negative, and he also named it as a canal ray. Because why? Because he made small holes, it looks like a canal, so he named as a canal ray. And these canal rays carries which type of particles? Positively charged particles. How the canal ray or positive charge particles was discovered? Now we will see the characteristics of those anode rays or canal rays or positive particles. So first, characteristics means the mass of the positive charge particles depend upon the nature of gas present in the anode ray tube. Which type of gas we are filling in this, what in this tube, on which the mass of that particles, like positive particles, depend on that which kind of gases we are filling in this tube. It completely depend on the that gas. The and the next second one is the charge to the mass ratio of the particle depend on from which they oriented. It also same like that, from which gas these particles are oriented, on that gas the charge mass ratio also determined depends on that gas which we are using in this canal. So third is the behavior of these particles in the field of magnetic field and electric field is opposite to that observed from the electron cathode ray. We will see that these positive ions shows completely opposite to the what we seen in during the cathode ray experiment. It shows when we place in the electric and magnetic field, we will see the completely opposite to what we seen in the cathode ray experiment. We will see a completely opposite when we place in the magnetic field and electric field. So lastly, the smallest and the lightest particle positive ion was obtained from where? From hydrogen. It is called as a proton. So one more scientist called Rutherford in the year 1990, he discovered a new subatomic particles and he named it as a proton. He discovered a new subatomic particles. In 1919, Ernest Rutherford conducted one experiment, gold file, by using a gold file, and he discovered a new atomic particles. He later named as a proton. And after conducting, he concluded that the most of the atomic mass and its entire positive charge are confined in a small core called nucleus. He told that the most of the atom is confined into a small core. Positive charge are confined into a small core, and he named it as a nucleus. And one more he concluded that the most of the volume of atoms are empty. The atom structure in which most of the space, he telling that the most of the space will be empty space, and he has a small core, and he named as a nucleus. Already discussed about the characteristics of positive particles like protons. So now we are going to discuss about the properties of proton. They are positively charged. We already know that they are positively charged. This is one of the properties. Next, they are travel in a straight line. The protons are traveling in a straight line. This is the second characteristics. Fourth, these positive rays are deflected by electric and magnetic field. When we pass these protons, they get deflected when we passes in between the electric and magnetic field. So next property is mass of the proton. What is the mass of the proton? Is 1.67 into 10 to the power of minus 27 gram. This is the mass of the proton. And next, the last property is the charge of the proton is 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. These are the properties of the protons. Hope you like this video. So if you like this video, you can subscribe my YouTube channel. And thank you.